How's it going, everybody? Today we are going to be taking a look at Flourish by Starling Games and by James and Clarissa Wilson, the makers of Everdell, which, as you guys know, she's a very big fan of. So this game is for 1 to 7 players, and it is a card drafting game in which you are trying to build your garden, the most beautiful garden of them all. Correct?
Very beautiful, indeed.
Indeed. So, let's go ahead, take a look at this game, and then we'll come back up with our thoughts.
In Flourish, you will be creating a beautiful garden of flowers, trees, paths, and features. You must carefully choose which cards to keep for yourself and which to pass over the walls to your neighbors. This game can be played competitively or cooperatively using the same rules. This game is played over 4 rounds. During each round, you will play a total of 3 cards, then score any end-of-round abilities played in the current round. On the cards, you have end-of-round scoring up at the top, then you have plant symbols, then you have a stone symbol or a plant name, and then end-of-game scoring at the bottom. Each turn, you will begin with 6 cards in your hand. You will choose 1 card, put it face down in front of you to play, and then 2 cards to pass, which you will place on either side of the wall. Once all players have played and passed, everyone is going to reveal their played card. Then they're going to draw the 2 cards that was passed to them, as well as the 1 additional card from the top of the deck. Once you have played all 3 cards, that will trigger the end of the round. And at the end of each round, this is where you will score the end of round scoring, and you will keep track of your score on your board here. After scoring the 3rd round, you will draw the 2 cards passed to you, but you will not draw an additional card from the deck. Now each player is going to choose 3 of their cards face down, and once everyone has done so, then all of them will be revealed and you will do end of round scoring. Let's go over a few examples of some scoring. So for instance, let's do end of round scoring for this one. This would be 1 point for every green symbol that you had already played. So for instance, 1, 2 points for that. This end of the game scoring down here is 3 points for every of those stone symbols. And in this grid, we happen to have 1, so that'd be 3 points. Then we have this same type of scoring here, but this is for end of the game. And at the end of the game, whoever has the most points on their board is the winner. There are some cards that are more interactive, where you have to have more symbols compared to other people, or you simply just score points depending on different symbols in your player and other people's gardens. There are multiple variants and expansions in this game. Some are in the back of the rulebook, so you have the Garden Show variant, which is a way to collect ribbons, or consecutive games. You have some solo rules, and you also have this Compost variant, which is a way to draw more cards from the deck. This game also comes with Friends and Follies, which provides additional rules and ways to play the game. The Friends expansion comes with lots of creatures that are your friends that can help you score points at the end of the game. The Follies expansion is a way to build lots of structures out onto your cards by placing them on cards that match the plant symbol. When playing the final 3 cards in your hand at the end of the game, you can place these anywhere outside of your 3x3 grid adjacent to any of your played cards. So you could play that one there, for instance, this one here, and then this one here. And then you're going to score your follies. Each folly in your garden is worth 2 points for each symbol matching its type on the card it was placed on and adjacent to it. If it's adjacent next to no colored symbols, for instance, walls, lawns, or features like here, then it's actually worth 3 points. And every folly you were unable to place is worth -5 points. Wah, wah.
Alright, everybody, so that was Flourish, and I have to say that this game I actually really liked quite a bit. Now, it took a couple of plays to figure it out. Now, there's a lot of iconography and things like that that really make this extremely confusing the first time that I played it, and I thought, oh my goodness, I do not want to play this again. But I was convinced, and because I had played it the first time and I understood what all the iconography was, then I really started to see what this game was all about, and I really enjoyed it. So I really like the aspect of just playing your cards out into your grid and kind of trying to plan out what's going to be played here, here, here in each of the different rounds. So, because each round you have to play 3 cards in a single row, and then the next round you have to pick another row and play 3 cards, and then another row, and then at the last round you can kind of place anywhere all around the edge of the grid. I really enjoyed how all of that played out in front of me and trying to kind of plan for that. So that was my big aspect to this game. Obviously, it's beautiful too.
Yeah, I mean, yes. I really love the look of this as well, and with the so this has a base game in it, but there's also multiple variants and expansions that you can play. So for instance, you got this separate rules here for friends or follies, or playing with friends and follies. And the friends cards were so cute because you had different animals, and the art in this is just gorgeous. All the, when you have your hand of cards, it's just fun looking at them because they're beautiful plants, and I just can't get over how gorgeous this game is.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so one thing that was frustrating about this game was getting it all ready and set up to play. There was a lot of cardboard that had to be punched out, and you had to assemble all these different buildings. So if you don't want to put the effort in, trying to put all these different buildings together and all these scoreboards. I mean, there's tons of buildings in here, guys.
No, that's just the initial setup.
Yes,
the one
initial. Yeah, so the very first, the one-time setup, but that did take me a while, and I did have a little bit of frustration trying to put some of these really small things together. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, but the end product is cool. I mean, I like having the buildings, but the process of putting them together was a little frustrating, and that's odd because I typically enjoy that. I typically love just getting my game, sitting down and assembling everything, but for some reason putting all the pieces together for this one was a little frustrating.
Well, like she said, the end product is definitely
I definitely love all the different buildings and the cards. It's definitely gorgeous to look at. Mm-hmm. I definitely also recommend always playing with that compost variant, which basically allows you to cycle through the main deck more. Otherwise, you may not be getting any good draws or anything. So I always play the compost variant to make sure there's more options, to kind of draw through and get what you might need. There's a couple variants I didn't play or didn't have any desire to play. I think it was like a garden show variant where there's you award ribbons or something. I just wasn't really interested in that at all. But I really did like the Friends and the Follies. The Follies is the ones where you use all the buildings. And then the Friends, of course, you got your little end of the game objectives with your cute little animals.
That's right. That's right. Yep.
So yeah, I mean, overall, I like this game. I think you might like it a little more than me, actually.
Maybe.
I found that the iconography could be a big hindrance. I would not use this as like a gateway game, and no, I'll never use this as a gateway game ever, because I mean, we're somewhat experienced gamers, and it took us a while to figure out what that symbol meant in combination, like with the and, or like there was just
and there are some symbols that look similar to other ones, and it's like
it
confused me a lot of times. Like, oh, I think I'm playing this in this way. Oh no, that's what that symbol meant.
Yeah, and
because
sometimes
there's a slight little difference in the way that.
And sometimes that in the way they set up the card, the end round scoring objectives in the upper left hand corner was really close to the plant symbols. It's just it took the first play was definitely a little frustrating trying to figure it out. So yes, don't use this as a light gateway game.
No.
But if you're willing to kind of get that one or two play in to kind of figure out how the game works and the iconography, kind of understanding it, then this might be one to check out. It's a nice card drafting game, beautiful, lighthearted, and there's multiple variants and expansions that you can play that come inside this box.
Yeah. To me, it's worth suffering through that first game in order to get to the fun that's buried inside. So
it wasn't like suffering, but
I was suffering. I don't know. You may not have been. You read the rules though. I was just trying to.
Yeah. So overall, it's a decent game in my opinion. It might be one worth checking out. So that is Flourish, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you later.
See ya.